You see, today, people don't talk about this enough, but do you realize because of the advent of social media and because of, particularly in my industry, professional athletes sort of thinking they found their voice, some have, some haven't, but you find your own voice, you can defend yourself, you can speak for yourself. You don't need the media. You don't need to communicate with them. You don't need to sit around and hope that they quote you correctly. You don't need to give them shine by doing interviews on their podcast or whatever. You don't have to do any of those things. So as a result, because these athletes have their own voice and feel that way, you literally can get away with simply monitoring them and writing without ever having to ingratiate yourself with them. I came up at a time where you had to be at those games, you had to be inside those locker rooms. You had to cultivate relationships, you had to network and build resources. You had to do all those things, all of them. You had to do all of them. And so because you had to do all of them, to me, I don't, when people call me screaming A and stuff like that, it doesn't really offend me, but I'm mindful of it because I make sure you call me whatever you want. Just don't forget my resume. Don't forget that I did 4 internships, the Winston-Salem Journal twice, the Greensboro News and Record, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I wrote for the New York Daily News. I wrote for the Philadelphia Inquirer for 7 years where I got promoted 7 or 8 times. I did television at CNNSI and then Fox Sports and then ESPN. This is earned. The opinion that I express and where I come from, it's earned the hard way and the old-fashioned way. I didn't just sit up there one day without any education, without any checks and balances, without any barriers, and just say, you know what, I'm going to start my own podcast. Or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that because I think I can have an audience that will reach me or whatever. And I got opinions that I want to say, and I'm pulling clips from what everybody else is doing. No, I'm one of those dudes that actually went out there and did it. And so my opinion, as I've said on many occasions, is earned.